Hi, I'm Ashley Morrison, and we're going to be bringing you a lot of the personalities from the world of sport here in Perth. Today we're down at Live Fitness in Aberdeen Street, and we're going to be catching up with a young racing car driver called Jack Alfirovich. Jack, good to catch up with you again.
Oh, you too, Ashley.
Now, first of all, can you just tell us what the Junior Speedway Association, the sort of racing you do and the limits on the cars, etc.?
Well, we're aged from 10 to 17. We race like 1200 and less, like some of us race a Charade and some of us race a Corolla with a rear-wheel drive and front-wheel drive difference.
And you said from the age of 10, is that when you started?
Yeah, I started at 10. I had a really lucky car. Dad and Shane Richards helped me build that, and now my little brother's got it now and he's just started and he's doing really well.
So is it the car or is it the coaching and the drivers that make it lucky?
Oh, I'd like to think it's the driver, but Dad thinks it's him, so.
And obviously your dad is a well-known sort of motor racing person here in Perth. Was that because, is that why you followed his footsteps?
Oh yeah, I used to go down to Claremont when it was around, but it closed down in 2000. So I used to go down there and help Dad all the time.
And you've always had a sort of penchant for the cars and the mechanics of it?
Oh yeah, definitely. I like how you can like get into cars and you get really enthused in them. Like watch Bathurst every year. It's always fun.
Did your mum try and dissuade you? Because often a lot of mums, they've had to put up with their dad going every week racing cars. Did she try and stop you doing it?
I think she tried, but as soon as I turned 8 and started driving cars, then she kind of gave up.
And when did you find that you had a talent for it? What sort of age were you then?
I've been wanting to drive cars ever since I was 2, so Mum had to hide the keys from me, and then Dad started me driving around work when I was 8, and we started driving around home, and Dad told me to keep on slowing down every couple of days, so.
Because you've been very successful in the Junior Speedway, and I mean, you I think were only 13 years old when you were picked for the series against New Zealand. I think you were one of the youngest to get picked for that series.
Yeah, I was actually the youngest person ever to get picked for the series. I was 13. I had a couple of good years before that where I'd won the track championship once, but now in that year I slowed down a bit. I got in a big crash, so I slowed down, and then I got picked for it, and I'm like, oh god, so much pressure, and I was only a reserve, so that it was okay. But then Kai Scroop crashed out, and I was in the second race, so it was a bit nerve-wracking.
Now this is a series that I know your dad was one of the instigators in making it happen, and it alternates every year between Australia and New Zealand, and the sad news is New Zealand's actually holding the trophy at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, they were lucky enough to win it here last year. I guess the team didn't perform as well enough as I thought they would, but we still did really good.
Now how many sort of Junior Speedway races are there now? I mean, is there quite a few joining up? Is it growing as a sport?
Our club is growing, but in WA there's around 80 cars, and normally show up about 60 cars at a state title, with them 60 being like the best in WA.
And you do most of your racing all down at the Kwinana Motorplex?
Yeah, I race at Kwinana every couple of weeks whenever they have a Saturday show on. Other than that, we have a JSRA Country Series, which I've been up to more, and I was lucky enough to win all 3 races down there.
Excellent. So, and obviously if people want to get and watch, there's a website that they can go and have a look and check out when you're racing again.
Yeah, jsrawa.com is a good website to look up, or the Perth Motorplex website. They're both good.
Now, you're obviously on a good roll at the moment, but you're also taking part, I believe, for the first time in the Nationals this year.
Yeah, we're travelling over to South Australia, Murray Bridge. It's a long way away. It'll be good, I hope. I'd like to thank Bert Vosbergen for giving us this container, letting us borrow it, so I can have the opportunity to show everyone how WA is good. I'm taking my own car. I think that's set up well enough. I'd like to race my own car instead of someone else's, so if I break it, then I don't have to fix it.
And how do you think you'll go in the Nationals? I mean, obviously you know where you sit within WA, but is this now a chance to sort of just see where you sit in the national picture?
I like to think I do really well. We've got a heap of sponsors in Victoria, which are really helping us to go over. So hopefully I can do well for them so they can be proud of who they're sponsoring.
And are you preparing for this any differently than you would for a normal race?
Not really. I like to chill out and relax like I normally do, so I can just be nice and confident when I go there.
Do you do any sort of fitness to prepare for your driving, or is it pretty relaxed, like you said there, just like to chill out? But I'm thinking because your concentration levels must have to be extremely high.
Yeah, you have to really concentrate so you can stick on one line, which is the fastest line. A couple of times I've gotten off that line and been passed, but I got back on it and worked my way to the front again. Fitness-wise, I ride a BMX bike every day when I get home. That's about it.
And what are your aspirations for the future? I mean, do you want to move into another class of driving?
I'd like to move into super sedans. My brother has one from New South Wales. Tanya Smith used to drive it, and she's a really good driver in the whole of Australia. So hopefully I'll race that for a couple of seasons, and then when the Aussie title comes out, she can come over and race it in my place.
You don't want to go in for that then?
Nah, not in my first couple of years of racing. I'd rather let her come over here and win it maybe.
Fantastic. Well, we wish you all the very best, Jack, and thanks for your time today.
Oh, thank you for having us.